Syracuse football traveled to Atlanta to take on the 24th-ranked Tennessee Volunteers in a season opener that could only be considered close if we're talking about jersey colors. Welcome to sports. I'm Danny Kramer. Let's take a look at the Aflac kickoff game where the Volunteers took control of this one early and did not look back. For the Orange, it's Notre Dame transfer Steve Angeli as the new signal caller. Angeli secured the QB1 position, but here in the first quarter, down 10-0, he tries to extend the play and fumbles the ball. Defensive back Colton Hood scoops it and scores it to extend Tennessee's lead early. The sign of life from the Q's offense comes on the following drive to start the second quarter. It's sophomore Yasin Willis stiff-arming his way into the end zone. Later that quarter, Angeli quickly slinging it to wide receiver Jonte Cook to cut the lead to 10, but 10 would be as close as the Orange come. Here in the third quarter, the lead sits at 17. Quarterback Joey Aguilar gets flushed out of the pocket and finds running back Star Thomas to extend the lead 38-14. Points were not at a premium on either side. Yasin Willis would add 2 more touchdowns in the second half, including this leaping effort. But the ranked Volunteers would prove too tough to overcome behind constant pressure and 497 yards of total offense. Angeli would end up being sacked 5 times by Tennessee's relentless SEC defense before a fourth quarter Aguilar touchdown capped off his 247-yard 3-touchdown day. The game would end in a 45-26 loss, but Syracuse head coach Fran Brown chose to remain positive. Take a listen.
You know, it's about wins and losses, but I am very thankful that the players went out and they fought and they stayed together. I think that's a part of us building the culture and building the program. So I'm extremely thankful that they were able to do that. But to tell you there's some moral victories or things of that nature, I think that's, for me, that would be like a loser's mentality. So I can't say that, but I'm very thankful that our players stuck together and they continue to fight until the last play.
Syracuse has 4 teams on its schedule currently ranked higher than Tennessee, adding more pressure to win the games they're expected to. That starts in the Orange's home opener against UConn. In more ACC action, next week, Syracuse returns to the JMA Wireless Dome to take on the 1-0 Huskies. The UConn offense was in full display in their 59-13 win, taking care of business against Central Connecticut. Quarterback Joe Fagnano threw for 260 yards and 3 touchdowns, with receiver Skylar Bell accounting for 135 of those and 2 scores. On the ground, Cam Edwards tacked on 115 of his own yards and a touchdown, rounding out just a dominant offensive showing. The Orange will have to keep the Huskies' playmakers in check to avoid starting the season 0-2. In even more ACC action, 10th-ranked Miami and 6th-ranked Notre Dame collided for a top 10 matchup at Hard Rock Stadium. In the second quarter, Carson Beck, under pressure, throws up this prayer to C.J. Daniels, who goes full extension. A potential catch of the year candidate to give Miami the lead. Fourth quarter, Notre Dame needs 7. Quarterback C.J. Carr calls his own number to tie it up late. A go-ahead Miami field goal gives Notre Dame just 20 seconds to get 3, but the hurricane pressure gets home. It's Akeem Messidor and Ruben Bain who get there. Bain celebrates, but Notre Dame hustles to the line with 6 seconds and counting. Clock ticks. Carr tries to get one last snap off. He gets everybody lined up, but the ball is hiked as time expires. No second chance for Notre Dame. Miami will win this one 27-24. The high stakes continue with the Syracuse Mets taking on the Rail Riders for the battle for the second half of the season champion. The Mets are currently 4 games back of the Rail Riders for first place, which would mean a chance at a playoff berth. The Syracuse Mets pitchers were absolutely shoving today. Here we see Jonathan Pintar, who delivers and gets a big swing and miss before moving on to the third, where Justin Garza delivers high heat to get the K. In that same inning, it's Jared Young who connects with a ball that goes to deep right field for a lead-taking 2-run double. Until we fast forward you to the 9th, it's Carlos Guzman who comes in to get the save on what would be the 11th total strikeout by a Mets pitcher in a 3-0 win. Syracuse is now 3 games back in the standings as they continue that push for a playoff spot. From the minor league in Syracuse to the majors at Citi Field, where the Mets trail the Marlins 1-0. In the top of the third, Augustin Ramirez, who takes Kodai Senga to deep left field and extends the Marlin lead to 3-0 as he rounds the bases. An inning later, Heriberto Hernandez. Here he is at the plate, sharply lines the base hit to the right field. He'll get the single and the RBI to go up 4. Now we'll spare all of you Mets fans any more suffering and fast forward to Cedric Mullins' ground out to short, which will swiftly wrap up this 5-1 loss. The Marlins take a series at Citi Field for the first time in 5 years, and another disappointing outing from Kodai Senga, who went just 4 2/3 and earned all 5 runs. From Citi Field, here we are at right field, top of the first. It's the captain, Aaron Judge, at bat. Barrels one to deep left center to give the Yanks an early 1-0 lead. We go to the third. Cody Bellinger is going to be at bat. Lines one to right field. This one's going to roll all the way to the wall for an RBI double. Aaron Judge touching home base once again until the 8th, where it's Lenine Sosa gets a hold of one, so much so that all Trent Grisham can do is watch it go over his head in center field. The solo shot in the bottom of the 8th would end up being the winning run. It's an uncharacteristic showing from Tim Hill that as the White Sox come out victorious 3-2. That's all for us in sports. While a lot of the New York teams were cold today, the question that remains is the forecast. We'll have that for you after the break.